Sorry, I was on mute. All right, let's get started with our next session. Um, Basically on keyword search, then basic Boolean operator and how to use them in a Google search, and then building search on a Google. A pretty short, a very simple agenda for today, but we'll definitely cover in depth and definitely cover the use cases of it. So anyways, yesterday, as we had discovered what is keyword search, when we're searching with some certain set of keywords like Java or software or training institutes, what are the keywords what we are using while searching either in a Google or in a LinkedIn or in a Naukri or in a Monster or in any of the job portals? That's basically stands for the keyword search, generally going with just the normal keyword search. But let's say now, in a use case where we want multiple keywords to be appearing, when I say multiple keywords to be appearing, let's say we need a combination of Java and SQL. And that is where we take a use of this particular Boolean operator. And that's how we write uh, normally in a Naukri or LinkedIn or any such job portals. We use and so that we get two keywords in a same search, something like if I just go to LinkedIn. Now let's say we just need a results of say Java and let's say NoSQL. So whichever the key results will appear will have both the keywords, something like Java as well as SQL or NoSQL. Let's say SQL only. About the double quotes, we'll cover it later, but let's go only to the SQL. Okay, so which are the list of results will be appearing here? We'll have all the list of results. It could be a people result, it could be a post result, it could be any kind of a result. But wherein once we click on people, we'll get all the list of peoples with a Java or SQL in their profile. Generally, as a use case, when I mentioned, keyword search is nothing but, let's say if you're searching for any of the particular keyword, it could be a software institute, it could be a Java training center, it could be anything. With the particular keyword set, we are targeting in a Google or any of the portals, so that we get a list of results with that one or two particular keywords. But when we get into the world of recruitment, when we read the real-time JDs, job descriptions, so job descriptions doesn't come up with ask of only one particular keyword. Job descriptions always come up with the ask of multiple keywords, multiple skills, and that is where this basic Boolean operators are useful to use those multiple combinations. Something like, as I mentioned, let's say if you're searching for a profiles which has Java as well as SQL also. So in that case, what we are doing is that, okay, fine, we just go here and we just search for Java and SQL. So this and or not, these are the kind of a Boolean operator accepted largely by job portals. And there's a way that we can use these keywords in Google also. Operators in Google also, but we'll come to the later point of the session, how to use this particular operator when we're doing a searches in a Google. But for now, to keep it simple and short, when do we use and is basically when we want both the keywords, something like Java and SQL. That's where we are using.
Your voice is not clear. I'm not sure for everyone.
No, it's clear, Shiv.
Okay.
We're able to hear.
It's clear, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for confirming. So as I mentioned, Java and let me just clear all the results first. So Madhusudan, you may have to drop the call and rejoin.
Sure, I'll check. Yeah.
Even there's a problem, there might be a problem from my end also, because even I'm on a fluctuating connection. I'm using my neighbor's internet in fact today. So as I mentioned, coming back to the topic, when we are using and, when we want more than one keywords to be appearing in a particular profile page or in a list of results, let's say Java and SQL. So here we got a various set of results: people result, post results, jobs results, or more people results.
Shiv,
Yeah.
what in case of 3 or 4 keywords?
We'll come there. Let's start with one. We'll come there. Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So just a simple example, Java and SQL. And then once we click on a people, we get the list of candidates or a list of profiles, which has both the keywords Java as well as SQL. Randomly, let's test a couple of them. React. So here we see Java as well. Here we see SQL. So here again we see Java as well as SQL. So there's a Java, there's MySQL. Here is SQL. It's Java. And GraphQL. Okay, here is a SQL. Okay. So now we see when we used and Java and an operator and, so it started giving us a list of results which has both the particular keywords. Now we had a community member over here who asked, how about if we have more number of keywords, something like 3, 4, 5. So let's say Java, SQL, and JavaScript, and let's see Java, SQL, JavaScript. Let's say
Angular.
jQuery?
Angular.
Algorithms. Okay, so now we have somewhere around 4 keywords.
React.js.
And let's say software. Okay, so now we see a list of results where we have Java and SQL and JavaScript and algorithms and software. I'll just use multi-highlighter in the interest of time, so that those particular keywords are getting highlighted. All right. So let's go ahead and open a couple of random profiles. So we have a software. Then we have algorithms. Then we have PL SQL, Java, JavaScript. Where is an algo? Python programming. So maybe somewhere here also it could be in the whole content of the featured articles. So Java, data structures, algorithms, MySQL, JS. So again, LinkedIn has slightly become smart now. Earlier, a couple of years ago, it wasn't that like this, where it used to take only a specific given keywords. However, unless we are not giving those specific keywords in a double quotes, it's also trying to understand some of the synonyms of those particular keywords and trying to give us the results. Something like in case of JavaScript, here it's a JS is mentioned. So it's trying to give us those results as well. So we have software. It's one of the post. Software engineer. Then Java, SQL. Data structures, algorithms, JavaScript, and all. And we have software. Data structures, algorithms, Java, JavaScript. Software, Java, JavaScript. And then algorithms. Software, algorithms, Java, JavaScript. So as we've seen that, just in case if we have some of the multiple keywords, then we are using multiple ands. So there's a limitation of using number of ands in a free version of a LinkedIn that we'll cover later. But for now, for a just basic understanding of what and is doing here, is basically it's giving us a combination of more than one keywords. It could be 2 keywords, it could be 3 keywords, it could be 4 keywords, it could be 5 keywords. And just in case if we have a paid version of it, we can search up to 300 keywords as well in a combination of and.
Shiva, I have a quick question. Using the combination of and, is it possible that we can also look at only those candidates who are maybe open to work? Most of these would be passive. So is it possible where we could say JavaScript and open to work? Would it give us?
It's all about the keywords. That's pretty much possible. It's all about the keywords. So let's say Java. If they have mentioned in their what we say LinkedIn profile that they are open to work, it's all about keyword.
Oh, I see.
Now let's say people would have mentioned open to work. So or people would have mentioned. Now this is the second combination, Java and open to work, seeking new, looking for. I'll come to this use case in detail later, but you just asked me just to show you the use case of it.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have Java and looking for or full stack developer, looking for new opportunities, actively looking for job, open to work, opportunity for job, looking new opportunity, looking for new opportunity, looking for new opportunity. So it's all about keywords. Unless they are mentioning those things in their keywords, it's pretty much possible that we can take a look for. But as I mentioned, in detail, in-depth understanding of it, I'll come back to it later. But as we are covering the basics of and or not, let's stick to the basic. Then slowly, once we advance, we'll go to those advanced examples.
Sure.
But otherwise, as you asked, it's pretty much doable.
So I can also give a location here, right? Like say, maybe if I want to look at a specific location, I can say Java and Bangalore. Then that way I'll look at the pool, which is, say, who are having Java as the main skill and based in Bangalore. That is also possible.
Pretty much doable.
Okay, got it. Okay, great.
Okay. Now here in this example, we just ran, we had seen the results. But now again, we reran it. We're not seeing the result. I'll come back to that why. But on a high level, any idea why?
Because your OR operator is not in capitals.
And as well, or operator are not exactly in
Yes, yeah.
capitals.
Oh.
Exactly. Great. So basically, are this operator when we say and or not? Okay, now let's start capturing our thumb rules. So we'll also be capturing such notes, which we feel like really important and gives us a better understanding in the future. We'll capture it. Just give me a second. Okay, anyways, coming to here. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubt on how AND operator is performing? A, N, D, and what AND operator is doing? Any question on that? Basically, A, N, D, and to be used in a job portals or LinkedIn, I would say. Naukri, Monster, or I would say GitHub, or I would say Career Builder, which are the job portals we are using. Sorry, I'm bad at job portals. Very few names I'm familiar of. But just in case, if you work actively on a job portals, you know that and or not are basically an operator which are largely accepted by job portals. Job portal do not accept the way Google accepts it. We'll come to see how Google accepts and or not. But for now, just on a basic understanding of what and operator is doing, do we have any more questions? And is basically searching for a list of results which has more than one keyword which is given in combination with and. Any further, something like Java and open to work, or seeking for, or looking for, or just say Java and SQL and JavaScript and algorithm and software. So basically what AND operator is doing here is it's giving us a list of results which has more than one keyword which is given in a combination of A, N, D, and A, N, D, and should be in a capital letters always. Though in Naukri or Monster, sometimes we see that this A, N, D, and or are getting accepted in a small caps also. But ideally, it should be given always in a large cap to give a better results, to get the better results. As well, to have that hands-on, always thorough on a sourcing. But otherwise, it's their product strategy. If they feel like recruiters are not putting A, N, D, and in capital letter, they're putting the way they want in a small letters, or A capital, N, D small. So it's their own logic, own their Boolean logic. They do change their product things so that it becomes user friendly. But ideally, logically, if we want to be hands-on on a Boolean operators on any given point at any portals, which let's say today itself the portal has launched, and if you wanted to understand how this is working, the best way to use this Boolean operator and or not is basically in a caps. That's actually algorithmically also this Boolean operator and or not, or not are mentioned in a capital letters itself. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubt on and? We're good?
Yeah. Thanks.
Shiv, one small query I had. I mean, I don't know. Supposing if I want somebody, say SD level, SD1, SD2 or 3 from e-commerce background. I mean, one of my clients in the past has asked me this kind of a work, industry specific e-commerce.
Mhm.
Can I use and or there as well?
Anywhere. Boolean is Boolean. Will come there as well.
Okay.
Okay. What does and operator do? So what you're saying, you wanted a candidate who is from e-commerce background and
Yeah, e-commerce background. I mean, industry is e-commerce, and then say SD2 or SD3 level with multiple technologies in between.
there's a possibility. See, it's all about keywords. If that is appearing in the profile page, definitely we can go ahead and use it. We'll come there. We'll come to that use case as well. All right.
Sure.
So what does an and operator do? It gives us a result with Java and SQL and JavaScript and software. Just give me a second. Someone is calling. Sorry. Okay. So now. All right. So that's basically what does an AND operator do? It gives us a results with more than one keyword, which is given in combination of keyword 1 and keyword 2. Example, Java and SQL and JavaScript and software. Now in our search, we'll get to see the list of results with all the 4 keywords. Okay, so that's about AND. Now let's say, as we see in one example where one of our team member asked, can we, so Shri will come to not, will come to not in a later point, but let's go step by step. Okay, so now let's say, now second keyword, what we have, second operator, what we have to understand here is OR. Now OR is in a kind of a use cases where we need a Java. Along with Java, we need either algorithms or data structures. So now let's say there's an ask to look for a profile which has a particular keyword 1 and keyword 2 and keyword 3, wherein keyword 1 is something which is mandatory and keyword 2 and 3, which are basically option, but any one of them are mandatory. So in that case, what we use basically, we use OR. Or generally, let's first use OR. Just try to understand in a basic terms what does OR is doing. The way we understood what does AND is doing, let's try to understand what does OR is doing. OR. Let's say if we go with software or sales. Software or sales. Okay, so now we get to see a list of profiles which either has a software or a sales. So number of software engineers. So lots of profiles related to software, but let's see in case if we can see some of the results. Okay, now if you see here, we have a sales. So we have seen a lot of profiles where we have a software. Now we started seeing a profiles where we have a sales as well. All right. So all these profiles are showing up sales. Though these profiles are also showing up software, logically, what LinkedIn is trying to do, it's trying to give some of the best matches, which first has both the keywords, software and sales. But ideally, what Boolean logic is doing, it's trying to search for a profiles which has either a word software or a word sales. And that's the reason we're getting a list of profiles which has either a software or sales, or there could be a possibility that we get both the keywords in those particular profiles, because LinkedIn is trying to give best of the profiles on a top first, and then later on a later pages when we go, then it will start showing up a list of profiles which has only software or which has only sales. Let's see a couple of more profiles. So business development, Salesforce. So software and sales both, we have it, software and sales both. So sales, bench recruiter. Okay, now if you see here, let me see. Anyway, software is appearing here because LinkedIn gives us a result from the whole page. So here it is appearing, but otherwise, so sales, let's see if there is a software in his profile. Season sales, 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 sales. Cloud. Anyway, software related keywords are there, but not exactly software. Let's control F once and see in case if there is any software. Maybe here it is, but not exactly here in the profile. So director sales, software sales, both. Okay, but ideally, as an operator, or what it's trying to do, or what it's doing is basically it's giving us a list of result which has at least either of the keyword, either keyword one, either software or sales. Let's take some other example instead of software or sales. Let's say idli or biryani. Or say dosa. Okay, so now we started getting a list of results. So these are two very indefinite words. As per my observation, that not a person would have idli, dosa, biryani, all the three keywords in their profile. So that's the reason I just thought of using idli or biryani or dosa, so that we get to see a decent example what exactly this OR operator is doing. So now if you see this profile, we have idli, we have idli, we have biryani, we have biryani, we have biryani, we have biryani, 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 paradise biryani, biryani. Okay, here building as well, neither biryani nor idli, but let's see what we have here. Yeah, I'm also aspiring a home chef. Butter chicken, yes, biryani is here. Why? What happened? You're excited? Okay, biryani, biryani, biryani.
Shiv, biryani
Yeah.
has been your very old philosophy. So we are very much aware. Huh? So don't try to lure us. Thank you.
Okay. See, this is a kind of example which is really.
Yeah. I really understood, and I can match up your emotions as well. Thank you.
Great. Okay, now here we have dosa. So that's reason this time I added little idli and dosa as well. All right. So
Correct.
now we have dosa INC. But let's see if there is a biryani or idli in this profile, so that we have a decent example of what our operator is doing. Anyways, in skills, it can be that someone is endorsing me for biryani. Anyways, yeah, great example. Now we see in this particular example, we see the list of profiles. which has either idli or biryani or dosa. So I'll just take a pause. Any follow-up question on this, or any follow-up question of understanding what OR operator is doing here? We're good?
So Shiv, the basic summary is and is must to have and or is good to have, right?
Or is good to have, or it's basically in a use case where we need either of the keywords.
Right, correct.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.